Welcome back to The Boys in the Iceberg, the podcast, where we watch The Legend of Korra. As always, I'm Caleb Ader.
And I'm Harley Davis.
And we're almost done with Season 2, right? Only got a couple more episodes?
2 more episodes. Next week is the last week for this show, ever.
No.
I wish.
No. Why, though? It's a good show. I like it.
Well, like I said earlier, like the ending with all the good stuff with them actually going, or the ending of this last episode.
Yeah, this isn't even the ending yet.
Yeah, the ending
Just
of
imagine what you're about ready. Get ready about what you're going to see.
When they wrapped up this last episode, the ending of it, so like the last 5 or 6 minutes was just solid content, and I wish the entire show was that. But
I think that it is, and I think that you're just being unfair.
I'm not. Well, it's case by case basis. We're looking at things, individually. Like you're looking at things how you like it, and I'm looking at things how I like it. And I don't like the entirety of the show. So you're looking at a 22-minute episode, and only 6 or 8 minutes are good content in my eyes. So you're looking at 1/3 of the entire show being good, and I don't like.
I think you need to adjust your attitude. Is just what I'm thinking.
It's not going to happen.
Let's get into the first episode. Night of 1,000 Stars is what this is called, and this might have multiple meanings.
Does it?
I mean, well, what's the first meaning? Because I'm not entirely.
Hey, you brought it up, not me.
It's probably the like the stars, like Hollywood type,
like star-studded.
Yeah, like a gala, star-studded event, and then also there's.
Is it gala? I always pronounce it gala.
I think it's gala, right? It might be both. I don't know. But then you've also got actually stars in the night sky.
It's nighttime, and there's probably thousands of them.
Yeah, if not millions. Well, technically there are an infinite amount, right?
In this universe?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm assuming that
maybe there's a limited amount of stars in their universe.
Probably not.
Maybe there's only 1,000 stars in their universe.
How would that work, though? There's exactly 1,000
There's exactly
stars.
1,000.
I did notice that in the next episode there was only one moon still. So how does this differ from Earth? Like, what is it? Is it an alternate universe?
I don't know, but
did we talk about that?
Is this the last episode we just watched? Is this the first episode where we actually saw Earth in its entirety?
Yes, like the round Earth. We've always seen like maps and stuff, like flat or not flat technically, but like sort of 3D images.
So this was the first time we've actually seen.
Yes,
that's
I believe
pretty cool.
So, unless we saw,
did we see it during the eclipse? That'd be the only time I could think of.
No, we did not see it during the eclipse.
I don't know why it would pan out for the entire.
Did we see it when Aang was up in space that one time?
I don't remember.
No.
I don't remember.
I think this is the first time.
So anyways, just a little snippet that nobody needs to know, but whatever.
Yeah, so Night of 1,000 Stars.
Yeah, all right. So this is the 11th episode of Book 2, obviously. And it's only the 23rd episode of the overall series. And I think you were saying before that the show itself has shorter seasons than Avatar: The Last Airbender?
Yeah, it's only like 13, maybe 14 episodes, something like that.
Yeah, I think it would be 14 since this is the 11th one. The first one we do is the 11th, and the second one is 12th, and there's 2 more. All right, so let's just dive onto the overview here. Okay. While attending the premiere of The Mover in which he stars, Bolin prevents 4... This is a really long overview.
You can just read whatever's written.
Oh, my lord. Bolin prevents 4 waterbenders from kidnapping President Raiko and his wife. The Earthbender also forces one of the men to reveal that the mastermind behind the plot is Varric, who is promptly arrested. With Mako's allegations proven correct, he is released from prison. Korra and Tenzin and his family return to Republic City to gather reinforcements to travel south in order to stop Unalaq from freeing Vatsu and destroying the world. When Raiko refuses to send the United Forces, Mako, Bolin, and Asami accompany them instead on Varric's battleship, because he just has a battleship. Meanwhile, at the South Pole, Unalaq's forces crush Tonrok's rebellion, with Unalaq gloating to Tonrok that he will soon destroy Korra. And that's it. That's the entire show. All right, on to the next episode.
No, that's just the overview.
I don't get on the... Okay, so on overviews, there's a lot happening in this. Yeah, there's like 4 different stories going on here. Like you have the rebellion going on, or the fight going on the South Pole, and then you have Korra and Tenzin's moment at the beginning, and then you have the President Raiko being kidnapped. There's multiple stories being interwoven in one episode, but I don't get why on the wiki certain overviews are very well fleshed out, and like there's they establish all these different storylines, but in some of them there's like 2 lines. Hey, this is what happened.
Yeah, well, I think that there's a lot more going on in these episodes than there have been in the previous episodes.
You think that's why?
Well, like there's a lot of different plot points because we get to see things from Korra's father's perspective, and we get to see like Korra's story, and then we have, or we don't. Do we get Korra in this episode?
I counted 3 different storylines.
Korra comes back in this episode, right?
Yeah, she
Okay.
come well,
But that's after
she's been back, but she was not this last episode, but she's been back. But her and are you talking about coming back to the Republic City?
Yeah,
Okay, yeah, because her and Tenzin met up in the
yeah,
last
because
episode.
we get
not the last
so
episode
yeah,
before
we
that?
get Korra like the episode. I think it starts off with Korra and Tenzin coming back with Janora's limp, lifeless body and giving it to her mother, and her mother's not really that mad at any of them about it.
Fun fact about the mother, actually, her name is Pema, if you didn't know that, and she is voiced by Maria.
That is fun.
That is fun. She is voiced by Maria Bamford, and Maria Bamford also
Nice.
voices Buttercup Raiko, which is the president. So she had a lot to do in this episode. She didn't.
Yeah, not really.
Pema said like one word,
Pima said, "What happened?"
and then Buttercup was like being all weird in the booth with her.
I didn't like her.
her
I
president.
didn't like her character
She
at
was
all.
like 19,000 years older than
Yes.
the president. Like he's just into older
The
women.
president looks like this like distinguished older gentleman, and then this lady just has like her face is just sagging.
Like
Completely.
he's in like his 50s, like late 50s, early 60s maybe, and she's like in her 80s.
80s. Yeah, I would say.
He's like, I dig this. I'm the president. I get what I want.
I would say he's like 57.
Like,
and
yeah, I could see that.
she's like at least 86.
There's
Like at least.
a huge difference there.
And her name is Buttercup. What's up with
Yeah,
that?
Buttercup Raiko. So what's the dude's first name? Because I always just thought it was
President. He's president.
His first name is President. His first name is President.
Right. Please welcome President of Republic City, President Raiko.
President.
Mr. President Raiko.
Mr. President.
I
President Raiko.
now pronounce you Mr. and Mrs. President Raiko.
All right, so let's dive into this episode a little bit.
Yeah.
We had, like you said, they brought back Janora's body, so
Cold,
cold, limp,
and lifeless.
and she's still in the spirit world. Which do they not go into the spirit world in the next episode?
Yeah, they do. At the very end. Because they just got in there.
I guess I've forgotten what actually happened to Janora, that they didn't just see her in the spirit world somewhere.
No, we didn't see Janora at all in these episodes.
No, I know we didn't.
So,
but-
like, I guess Unalaq still... Or has she been corrupted?
I don't know. That's
Is
why
that what-
I've forgotten.
I think that they were trying to corrupt her, but then they just, like, took her away. So I guess they're just, like, holding on to her. Or something.
Okay, so they have her like stashed away somewhere.
Yeah.
Is why we didn't
Which,
see her.
why couldn't she just come back to the regular world? Because Korra just, like, sort of popped out, right?
I don't know.
I don't
Maybe it's
know.
because he has the spirits holding on to her.
I guess. But there was a spirit holding on to Korra
Dude, I got no
when
clue.
she came back out of the spirit
That's
world.
true.
I mean, these are
They-
the questions we have to
Different
ask.
spirits with different intentions?
Maybe. I wonder, where do you draw the line?
Where do you draw the line?
Not all spirits. Hashtag not my spirits. Yeah, but so Pema's not like really mad at Korra, which is what I would have expected from this show. That's where I expected. I thought there was going to be like some drama where Pema got really mad at Korra.
Me too, but then they're like, hey, listen, Maria Bamford, we don't want you to say anything but okay. Like that's the extent of your lines.
They just didn't want to pay her.
Yeah, like they didn't want to pay her. But as soon as she came down with Janora and Korra's like, I'm so sorry, Pema. I thought she was going to freak out. But Pema, being the level-headed, reasonable adult that she is, was like, all right, that's understandable.
Yeah,
You
which
can-
is
you
pretty
can do anything.
crazy to me because that's what you would expect in a show like this. They always freak out over something that nobody could really control.
So this is something though a little different if they're trying to like flip the script, if you will. Is certain things like that, like if you watch a show on ABC, how most of the shows they run the exact same thing. Like,
Yeah.
every single show has the same cliches and whatnot. So in this, they're like, listen, we don't want to add another layer of drama to this show. Let's just have Pema be okay.
We've
with
got too much going on as it is.
it. Yeah.
We're
We
just
need
gonna
to
have
we
to
need to
move
start
on.
reeling stuff back in. We have 2 episodes to just tie this all together. Let's not add another layer of drama to this.
Yeah, so I think that's when I guess Korra goes back. Korra and Tenzin, Boomy, and what's her
Kaya.
name? Kaya. They head on back. But meanwhile, while that's going on, we get to see more of Mako Bolin and your favorite character, Asami.
Yeah. Yep, she is.
Yeah, and I think she's actually pretty good in these episodes. In all
I
honesty.
think it's that my overwhelming hate for her as a whole is clouding my judgment for what she does in these episodes.
And does it stem where the series goes? Do you think that's a little bit? 'Cause
I don't know.
You definitely didn't hate her this much first time through, right?
I ignored her.
Oh, okay.
Because the first time I watched it, because I was just like, you've done nothing to push this story along, like, and like a lack of words here, but you've done nothing to actually
Further the plot.
further the plot here. So I don't know why you're necessary, but I didn't question it. I didn't look at it with a cynical eye. I looked at it as like, this is the first time I'm in this universe again since Avatar. Let's enjoy everything. So I was like this bright-eyed, bushy-tailed kid. Like, I'm back, man.
You had a tail at that point.
Like I did. And, like when no Star Wars references. I won't. But like the first time when they re-released Phantom Menace, I was like, I'm just gonna ignore all the problems with this.
Okay.
I'm gonna watch this movie. Like I didn't, because I was excited to be back in the universe.
And you were 6 years old.
Well, no, when they released it when we were in high school.
Oh, when they were okay.
When they were
3D.
Yeah, when they still owned. When Lucas still owned it.
Did you go see that in theaters?
I did.
Was it good?
It was really, because they did the special edition of it.
Yeah.
And so the pod race scene was like 10 extra minutes or whatever.
That's awesome.
It was really good. There were some deleted scenes that I'd never seen before in my life. But and it was in 3D, so which is a hoax, but beside the point.
It can be, I think it works.
I think if it can be done right. I really did enjoy.
I don't think that it could. I don't think it's going to replace 2D.
It won't. I really did enjoy Thor, but only for like the subtle 3Ds. Like, because I don't think it was shot in 3D. I think it was converted.
Oh, okay.
So when they're on Niflheim or Yeffelheim or Heimheim or whatever it was,
I think it's Niflheim.
The frost giant place. Like the snow was coming like off. It felt like it was coming out of the screen.
That's Jotunheim.
Was it Jotunheim?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because
like,
Jotun's giant.
The snow was like coming off the screen. I was like, this is
that's
pretty cool.
Yeah.
It's like the subtleties, not like the in your face like Shark Boy and Lava Girl like 3D.
Yeah. Which that never worked at all anyway.
Like, and they give you like those fake flimsy like one's
blue
red, one's
and red,
blue.
yeah.
I was like, what is this nonsense? But
yeah.
anyways.
So with 3D, I think that it adds to it, but don't make it like the focal point. Like in Captain America, the first one, he throws his shield into the
cameraman
face. I don't need to see that.
I did like those shots though, because
but it's cool for depth.
Yeah,
when they use it like that.
I saw a correlation, or not a correlation, a compilation is what I wanted to say, of those images from the Avengers movies, and one was like Hawkeye shooting the screen, and one was Thor throwing his hammer into the screen, and one was Captain America throwing. Okay, there was a few others, but I like where it's like it's slow motion, and it's kind of like this dramatic scene, and especially Captain America in that scene where he throws it, he's like, "Rah." But anyways,
how did we get talking about this?
I don't know. What I'm holding up now actually is The Last Airbender by
M. Night Shyamalan.
The one and only M. Night Shyamalan. And
was
this
that 3D?
This was shot in 3D, I think.
Oh, nice.
I'm pretty sure they used like IMAX cameras to shoot this in 3D.
Well, who did the special effects for that movie? Harley?
I'm not sure. Was this
ILM?
It was ILM.
Yes, it was.
Scumbags.
They know what they're doing. They didn't do a good job. Yes. Yeah, let's not talk about that.
Let's get off the 3D topic.
So where were we?
I don't know. We're talking about.
I feel like I ask that question all the time.
You do.
But do you have an answer?
Sometimes we derail.
Very much so. Oh yeah, we're talking about Mako and how he's in jail because he was getting a little too close to Varric.
He was actually finding the truth from our perspective. What was the word we tried to use? Omniscient, omnipotent. Which one is the word?
Omniscient would be knowing all.
Okay.
But we didn't even know all this.
So we had better ideas than Lin Beifong, like because we saw it all together. So we knew that we suspected that Varric was a bad dude. He wasn't playing on the right side of the law.
Well, see, but I didn't know that. I thought that maybe Varric was good, and there was like something going on there because I thought that they were gonna do they were trying to trick me, but they didn't. Varric was just exactly what Mako said.
You didn't get me. But yeah, so I couldn't remember from watching it previously if he was a bad dude or not a bad dude because he comes in and out of the show often, and he's always playing one side or the other. But he doesn't.
And we're talking about this because so basically what he does in this episode is he puts out his newest mover, the final of the Nuktuk series,
the big finale.
And
so
they have it. They host it at the Pro Bending Hall, the stadium, which apparently they've fixed completely.
Well, it's been a while.
How long?
Been like a whole season, hasn't it?
Yeah, but how long did we skip time?
I don't know, but it has been an entire season almost.
Yeah,
because what's his name? Amon was the one that destroyed it.
I understand, but I don't feel like it was that long.
They've had time to fix it. I think it.
I guess.
Mean,
they obviously did because they fixed it.
Yeah, obviously it happened.
Or maybe it was a sort of a Death Star thing where it's just like, oh, it's fixed now.
Is each season a year in this show?
I don't know. No, because
they all progress and they all age.
I think season 2 and 3 are like the same year. Because I remember looking up Korra's age. She's like 17 in the first season 18 second and third season, and then 19 or
I just-
20 or something like that.
See, I just remember, Janora and Milo and Eki getting older. Obviously, the characters that are.
I don't
young.
think they really have that much yet. They might.
Well, no,
in
not
the latter
no. I'm
seasons.
looking like overall seasons. Like you can see them their age progress, but not currently. I think they're still the same age.
Yeah. So, Varric has his mover presentation going on, and we get to see a little bit of like this waterbending special ops team that we don't know exactly what they're doing.
It's really confusing because you see this group get together and you're like, what are they doing? Why are they attacking these people? Why are they doing this all Black Ops nonsense?
Yeah, we don't know if they're like Northern Water Tribe or Southern Water Tribe or what's going on, but they break into the stadium and then end up attacking the president and like tying him up.
Yeah, they actually did this really cool thing that I liked in the show. So the mover's playing in the background, and it's this big, huge screen. Obviously, it's like a 50-foot screen or whatever.
And they did a really good job with the comedy, sort of the absurdist.
Yeah, you laughed
sort of
a lot in
stuff.
this episode, and they had some pretty funny things, especially when the announcer was in the arena. But
Yeah.
he was just sitting in the stadium with everybody else, and
But he was
announcing what Bolin
commentating
was
what.
doing.
Yeah, Bolin was actually fighting these Water Tribe guys.
So this is the thing I wanted to bring up. I was trying to say. In the background, the mover is actually playing, and Bolin realizes that he's tipped off by a boat in the water.
Yeah, because earlier on he's having a little bit of trouble because this is like going to be the height of his career or something like that. But he doesn't have all of his friends there. He's sad that Team Avatar's broken up because the only one there is Asami, and she's not really even a part of Team Avatar.
No, not my Team Avatar. But so he's kind of doing his own thing. He's kind of walking around, and he sees a boat in the water. And he's like, "I'm gonna go investigate." And then he sees a donut on the floor. He's like, "I'm gonna go investigate." And then he sees his the cop dudes, the Lewin gang, are
Are those guys?
Yes,
I didn't
the
recognize
same guys
them.
who belittled
Okay.
Mako back in the day. But
They were so long ago.
They were stuffing their face with donuts, and so one donut's on the ground. He's like, "I'm gonna go investigate." And then he finds them in a locker. He's like, "I'm gonna go investigate." And then he sees
He's
these
a better
people-
detective than Mako. in
Yeah, I
this
mean,
episode.
he doesn't get put in the freaking prison.
yeah.
So then he finds these guys who are currently kidnapping the president because Lou or Gang, I can't remember which one's they're interchangeable. They're both douchebags. They say he's gonna kidnap the president, and so he runs to the president's booth and he tries to save the president, and he does successfully. But it's really cool. In the background, the mover's playing, which is what I keep saying that line, and as it unfolds in the movie or the mover, sorry, with I think it's Ginger who's screaming. Ginger screams on screen as her inner character, and then at the same time, the president's wife screams, and then Nuktuk says a line, and Bolin says the exact same line to the like
Just
in
a
real
little bit
time.
delayed.
Yeah, and then so they keep doing cool parallels like that. Like in one scene, he's like he's taking on a bunch of water from the bad guy in the mover, and he's also taking a bunch of water on from the Water Tribe members in the real life. Like
Well,
that's pretty.
Yeah,
That's
so
pretty cool.
There's that one scene where he's got like stacks because at this point they've the battle's gone down to the actual sort of
The arena itself.
Yeah, the arena, and they're on like the stage or whatever, and he's got a whole bunch of those like the what do you even call them?
The little discs.
Yeah, so like the rock or earth discs, and he's got a whole bunch pulled up, and you see him up on the screen right behind him doing water bending because Nuktuk is obviously a waterbender. But he's earthbending right in front of that, taking on the three waterbending guys.
It's pretty cool. It's a weird thing to describe. I don't know how to describe it perfectly, but just watch the episode.
Yeah, it's actually really cool.
It's
done.
pretty funny.
It's well done. I would say. I think I like these two episodes a lot.
I don't hate these episodes, and I think that the ending of this last episode really paid off. And I like. There's a lot. Okay, they do a lot in the show where they like cliffhang you like every single episode, and it's my bad, but it's like poor cliffhanging. Like they build up all this tension for this episode and then just leave you at the end, and they're like introduce the next episode. They just thrust you into it. But I think the cliffhanger for this last episode we watched, not the one we're talking about currently, but the second one was well deserved.
Yeah. So Bolin has taken on the guys, the waterbending guys, and he's like, "Who sent you? Where are they?" And yeah, they're like, "Oh, it was Varric." Because why not? So it turns out Varric was evil. I wouldn't say evil, because he's basically doing the right thing.
He has his own agenda.
But he wants the right thing. It's just the way he's going about it is really bad.
Oh yeah, like he's gonna kidnap the president. Like so, his whole thing is that he's gonna kidnap the president and just to start a war. and I don't
Or a bigger war.
a bigger war.
I don't know if he wants to profit off of it or he actually wants to help the South. The Southern Water Tribe.
Do we get that clarified at all?
Not really. I'm going to assume it's profit.
Maybe, or
But
he'd be
it
a decent
would-
guy, and he just doesn't go about it the right way because he's over exaggerating. He's super.
Nah, probably
exuberant.
not. I would assume that he's just like a greedy
He's just
guy.
a good guy, but he's dramatic every single
He's
thing.
a greedy
he does.
guy.
But so yeah, he does these weird things, and I just lost my train of thought.
They end up arresting him. Like he's
Yeah.
For some reason he's there at the mover still. Like I would figure as soon as they start fighting the water bending guys, you leave.
Okay, as I say, yeah, I mean, you wouldn't stick around for that, I guess.
Yeah. So well, what's the girl's name? The metal bending police chief lady,
Lin Beifong.
Lin Beifong, shows up and she's like, "Hey, come with me, Varric. We're gonna go to jail now." And Varric's like, "Oh man, you got me." And they take him to jail. And then she's like, "Oh crap, Mako was right."
Yeah,
And we threw him in jail.
I really hate that whole little moment between her and Raiko because he's like, "Oh man, who would have ever guessed that Varric was the bad guy?" And she's like,
Mako.
Mako actually did. Remember him?" And she's like, he goes, "You have a great detective on your hands." And she goes, "Yeah, the best."
Yep.
And I'm like, "Yeah, you threw him in jail, you idiot."
What an idiot. Yeah, you got a great detective. Yeah, I know. That kind of threw him in jail.
Yeah, I'm kind of an idiot right now.
Yeah, maybe he should have my job.
That'd be cool.
Basically. If Mako probably does.
Like that's the end of it. Like Lin
Is that how
Beifong dies, and
yeah.
I don't know. I just want everybody to just die.
You should kill Lin Beifong off. Yeah, so now Mako's out of jail. But Korra has come back to Republic City. I think she shows up right at the end of this, right? As they're before they even get Mako out of jail, right? I think it's like as they're at the pro bending.
Yeah,
arena.
because she asks where Mako's at, and they're like, "Well, he's in prison."
Yeah. So Korra comes back and they're like, "Oh, we need a new strategy now, because we don't have the fleet from Republic City, which the president still doesn't want to give them, even though Bolin saved his life." I don't know.
It's weird. So, yeah, he says, well, his excuse is that just because if the world's going to fall into chaos, then I'm going to keep my troops right here to protect Republic City, which is understandable.
Well,
but stupid.
Kind of. Korra shows up and goes, "Hey, the world's gonna end. We need some help." And he's like, "Oh well, I'll protect my people here."
Sometimes inaction is not the best action.
No,
So-
especially if the world is going to end.
Like they just told you that, and we've already don't like President Raiko because he was a dick for other reasons. Well, why was he a dick earlier? Not this episode, but he's been a douchebag before.
Well, he just didn't want to give Korra the troops, which is understandable.
Oh,
At the time, it's like, okay, that was completely solid reasoning. The Northern Water Tribe has attacked the Southern Water Tribe. It's none of my business.
He didn't want to get involved.
But now so this is like World War II. United States is like, oh, well, just let them do whatever they're doing in
Let
Europe.
them bomb themselves.
And now then Pearl Harbor gets bombed. This is the exact same thing. So the world is now in this. Like you have to take part of it.
It's only a world war when America gets involved.
And I wanted to talk about this. This is what I was talking about in the episode that I wanted to say for the podcast. Why do bad guys always want to destroy the world? Don't they realize how stupid that is?
I don't think Amon wanted to destroy the world. I think he just wanted to equalize everybody.
No. But I'm talking about the bad guys
Overall,
who
like
want to team up with this great evil
Okay.
that wanted to. And I think that a lot of it in this one is Unalaq thinks that he's going to be in control, which obviously you're not going to be in control.
I think that stems from the original, like the original bad guys they created. Where like you have to give them.
They're just evil.
You have to give them this crazy plan to do, and the craziest thing you can do is destroy the world.
Yeah.
So,
And then just
because where do you go from there? I mean,
yeah,
the
this was
world's
before,
gone.
and I'm kind of sick of all these. Oh, the bad guys aren't that bad. We're going to give them a little bit of humanity. I want to just see like some evil bad guys. But
I like before you go on there though with the bad guys, I do like. I was reading something the other day about villains, and I like the idea of villains being something that anybody can become. Like they show the humanity of it, and you see that
that's how it is.
Yeah, you see the steps that they take to get where they're at, and you're like, man, anybody can be this guy. Like that's what makes a good villain good. Like not good as in like morally good, but good a good character.
So there's this guy named Jordan Peterson who's he's a professor in on the university. I think it's the University of Ontario, but he always talks about and he teaches his students how if you were in Germany at the time of the rise of the Nazis, you probably would have become a Nazi. Like that's just he talks about like the psychological thing about how anyone in the right circumstances can be like the most evil. And so I do like how they do that with villains now, how they do give them humanity. But I think that sometimes you just need, this is evil. We got to defeat evil.
Well, that's a I think a Batman book actually. The Joker, is it a Death in the Family? Is that what it is? It's like the Joker just tries to prove to Commissioner, like he kidnaps Commissioner Gordon, and like I think he I don't know if he murders or rapes the Barbara, but he does something crazy. But he tries to make Commissioner Gordon like murder somebody or commit this like insane act because he's trying to go off the idea that it only takes one bad day for anyone to become evil.
Are you thinking of the newest Arkham Knight? Because he does a similar sort of thing.
It's actual comic book.
I understand.
And they turn it into an animated movie.
But he does are you talking about the Killing Joke?
Is that what it is?
The Killing Joke is where he shoots Barbara.
It might be the Killing Joke. I don't know.
I heard that they did a stupid thing in the new.
The movie's terrible.
Movie, okay,
because they add like 30 minutes at the beginning of it of just Barbara Gordon, so you can get to know the character, which is understandable.
And
but then
romance,
at the same
Barbara
time, Batman and Barbara have sex.
Why?
And in the comics, she's like a child.
Well, I mean,
he's an old man.
I'm pretty sure she's actually an adult at that point.
But that's not okay.
No, it's not.
And we didn't need that at all.
That's not how the Bat family works.
No. It's not.
Batman's the dad.
Yeah.
It's a little weird. Hey, let's move on from this. The Korra shows up, and now President Raiko still not going to give them the troops. So they go talk to Varric, and he's like, I have a battleship that you can use.
But Varric is in prison.
Kind of.
It's, so apparently his company owns the prison.
Or built it,
or whatever.
Like that.
So he has this one room just like decked out, to
a really
nines.
lavish, like it's like a hotel suite. Like,
he's not even in prison; like he's just hanging out.
He's still got his assistant there.
His Julie's with him. But so they give him, so he gives him this battleship, and I didn't mean to interrupt you. I was just
no, that's fine. That's how a podcast works. Harley.
Me interrupting you all the time?
Well, I mean that's how this podcast works.
I dig it. I'll just interrupt you all the time then.
So they get the battleship, and this is where I'm saying because Varric, I don't think that he's evil. Is the thing. He's not a very good guy, but I think that his mind's in the right place.
I think he's in a morally gray area. Like he
does
the right things, but he doesn't do them the right way
or for the right reason.
Maybe.
I think he's doing.
Do we know his reasons though?
No,
like,
we don't. We're just
here.
speculating.
Like we don't know what his reasons are.
I'm assuming it's some comment on how capitalism works and how people are just greedy or something like that.
I hope it is.
Probably.
Anyway, so what happens in this episode?
So they get on the battleship, right?
Do they leave after that?
I think so.
No. They get on the battleship and
we forgot.
Korra kisses Mako.
Yes. Because Korra's memory is not entirely back.
And she kisses him in front of everyone.
Yeah, so I actually like this because it's very awkward. It's like they actually did a really good job displaying how awkward it was.
But nobody can get mad at Korra. First of all, she'll kill you.
Yeah.
Second of all, she nobody knows what's going on. They're like, why did she just kiss Mako? And also, Korra doesn't know that Mako is dating Asami. So there's just like a lot of. I'm okay with this kind of drama.
Well, Korra doesn't even know her and Mako broke up.
No, because her memory was was gone for a little while and still is. So I'm okay with this kind of drama that's just like tense and weird and awkward.
Yeah,
but like, don't make it the whole episode. I think that's the problem that I have with the series, or another problem I have with the series as a whole, is that they make the drama the entire episode. And then at the very end, they're like, put some action scenes in there. Wop, wop, wop. Do some bending.
That's exactly what they did.
Whoa. I don't. It's weird tonally, and there's no. I don't know. It's weird to me.
So at the end of this episode, we get to see Korra's father, whose name escapes me.
Una Tonrock.
Nope. Oh, it's just Tonrock. Yes. So Tonrock is there in the trenches fighting against the Northern Water Tribe. And he sees Unalaq, and he says, "I'm going to end this right now."
That's the thing that's going on in the background of the entire episode. Like the thing that I would love to see is this.
Well,
whole,
I don't think we didn't even see any glimpses of it until the very end.
Well, we saw it at the very beginning.
No, those were the Water Tribe guys. I think
I think we saw a little bit of them at the beginning,
or the Water Tribe guys that took.
Remember, because they were on top of the mountain and they made their ice snowboards. And
I was assuming those were the guys that were getting into the stadium.
Was it? I don't know.
I don't know. It might have been.
Who knows? There's a lot of they're waterbenders, interchangeable.
But
right?
I wanted to come out because the fight scene between Unalaq and Tonrock is super awesome.
Oh,
they did such a good job.
And even
I
with
think
that slow motion scene where he comes to punch him in the face.
the bending has gotten more dynamic and elaborate and intricate
Since
in the series.
Avatar, or since
definitely.
the beginning of Korra? What were you establishing that earlier?
Since Avatar, and even I think since Korra, I think they've really stepped it up, and I really like it.
I think they've done a pretty good job with this. I'm not going to argue with the choreography now, but early on in the series, comparatively to early on in the Avatar series,
I think you just got used to this.
I think the Avatar choreography was better.
I don't know. I think I think so far what we've seen, the choreography is better in
But
Korra.
I do always immediately when I hear Avatar choreography, I go back to that scene with Zuko and Aang in the little marketplace.
Yeah,
and they're on the well and they're fighting each other and he's dodging it and like Zuko's attacking like headstrong.
Well, I think one thing, because there's a really big difference between the choreography. So in Avatar, the choreography is more like martial arts, like it's just extensions of them. In this, they're using it in a completely different way. So they're fighting with the bending, but it's not necessarily based on any martial art.
Yeah, you see a lot of like punching and jabbing and stuff like that, but and the bending follows along with it. Like you see, I think it's just basic street fighting.
Yeah, it's cool, but they also use the bending as the environment too, not like it's an extension of them, but like it's part of. I can't really explain it.
Like part of their society. Like what do you?
Well, it's like in Avatar, you would see Aang like shoot bending or shoot like water or whatever out, and you'd see that's how they would fight. Like Korra would sit back. Or not Korra, Katara would sit back and like shoot water. Zuko would shoot fire out of his hands and whatever. In this, we get to see like Tonraq slides in on water and then ramps up on the side of a building, and then Unalaq shoots like different like spires out from all these different places, and Tonraq's like punching them out of the way and dodging them and stuff, which is a lot different than what you would see in Avatar. This is like, I think it's a lot grander in scale.
Okay, so you're saying like they're combining the two like physical like attacks, like personal attacks, like the hand to hand and the bending, as opposed to Avatar where they would sit back and the bending would be the forefront of the fights.
Yeah,
that's what I'm getting from.
So
what you're saying.
Yeah, it's like I think it's just more dynamic and it's just a little different, but I really do like it.
I do agree that the fighting style is different. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that's where it ends because they capture Tonraq, right?
Let's see. Tonraq and Unalaq fight. Tonraq grasps and strikes him in the predicament. Okay, yeah. And then Unalaq after that cool little slow motion little thing that happens when we think Unalaq or Tonraq is going to punch Unalaq in the face. Unalaq just does this.
Oh yeah.
Unalaq just comes out of nowhere and sends a pillar up in his face and then freezes him, and then knocks him out. And then now Unalaq is winning and Tonraq is not, and that's the end. That's the end of that.
Yeah, I wish you would have just killed him.
I wish that would have happened too. I wish you would have just stuck him in, like, what I would have done, okay, just make this the craziest villain ever. So, instead of, when he freezes him and he's, like, in the air frozen, I would have stuck him with like, an ice spike, and then I would have taken his body and put it out in front of, like, the play, like, where Korra would have seen it as she came in, and like, that's my dad. And he's like, I'm sending a message.
Put his head on a spike.
Yeah, don't mess with me. I murdered your father, didn't even let you grieve over it, and then I put his body out front of the Southern Water Tribe, or Northern Water Tribe, but whatever. And they're interchangeable, I guess, at this point. And Southern Water Tribe.
Yeah, it's the Southern.
Yeah, and then that's my business. What's up?
But yeah, that's where the episode ends. And it basically bleeds right into the second episode, because the next one is where Korra and all them actually show up, and they're going to try to enact a little plan.
What kind of plan, Caleb?
Well, that's the second episode.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah, so let's get some trivia, and then we'll move on. Okay, so Bolin, gosh dang it, Bolin flashing Mako the poster of Nuktuk is similar to Sokka flashing Team Avatar the poster of the boy in the iceberg in the Ember Island Players.
Is it though?
No, not really. Okay.
These two characters have posters. Ta-da! Parallels.
Well, okay, so who's this? Roton saving Nuktuk from the automatons? Who's Roton?
Naga's character.
Okay. Okay. Resembles Naga saving Bolin from a trio of mecha tanks where the Earthbender was destroying the
Now
airfield.
they're just paralleling inside the show
to the first season. Coincidentally, all the cast members correspond to the characters in the movie. Mover. I don't know what that means.
I don't know either.
Yeah,
was that weird? The parallels we were trying to draw, the visual parallels where he was fighting in the show. And
no,
fighting.
But these are visual parallels to the first season.
I have no idea then.
Okay, in the Adventures of Nuktuk, Hero of the South finale, evil Unalaq's plan to rule the world after creating a new ice Earth. Unalaq's real plan, as revealed in Harmonic Convergence, is to lead the world into a new era where spirits and humans are not separated and to become one with Vatu.
I don't think that sounds evil the way you just said it, but the way he's going about it is pretty evil.
Well, he's trying to be okay. So we're not going to get too much into it, but he's going to try to become the Dark Avatar.
Yeah, that was established in the second
and that's
episode.
not a racist comment. That's what he actually says. Dark Avatar.
Yeah. I have. No, we're not going to get into that and get into the whole Black Panther thing and the way they're portraying.
With that,
portraying
let's
villain.
take a little break, and we'll be right back. And we're back. We're gonna move on to the next episode, Harmonic Convergence.
Yeah, the 20th episode in this season or series, obviously.
Is it really?
If the last one was
we
the 19th.
made it to number 20.
Yeah,
nice.
Which is weird. Does it feel like it's going slow to you?
Going slower? No, this has gone by way faster.
You think this has gone by, or like the show, our show itself?
Oh yeah, definitely.
You think it's gone by faster?
Well, because the seasons are shorter, so it just feels like it.
It feels like it's going slow for me. But anyways, okay. So here's the overview for that. With Janora's spiritless body in the care of Katara. Oh yeah, we forgot about that. They went to Katara. Did that happen last episode?
That much. Yeah, probably.
Korra and her friends attempt to break through the northern defenses surrounding the southern spirit portal. Despite being captured by Unalaq's forces, they eventually manage to enter the spirit world. Bumi, Kaya, and Tenzin leave to find Janora's spirit. Okay, is that where they went? I guess I completely forgot that.
Yeah.
While Mako and Bolin hold off Unalaq at the portal itself to give Korra the time to close the portal before Harmonic Convergence starts. Their plan fails, however... What?
I don't know.
Their plan fails, however, and Vatu manages to break free from this prison inside the
It would be their plan fails, however, right?
And Vatu. That's weirdly worded. But anyways, yeah, okay. So, and then Vatu breaks free of the Tree of Time.
So they skipped a lot in the overview. Like, they just glossed over the first, like, I would say 80% of this episode. So, okay, so they just take Janora to Katara in this episode because Katara is at the White Lotus, like, compound.
Kaya has been doing
she's been trying to keep Janora's energy.
Her spirit
is what they
together.
say. Like, keep her energy intact because apparently if you're outside of your body too long, your energy leaves or something like that, I guess.
So they've given us stakes, at least for Janora's fate. Because you I didn't know what was going on with Janora. I didn't care. Like, I was like...
I think we could do without it, though. Because the stakes are already high enough with the world ending.
Yeah, like, just throw one more character that we love in there. But, which is fine. If they would have chosen, like, Milo or Ikki, I'd have been like, ugh, gross. But, like, they chose Janora, and you're like, all right, cool. So do they have plans for Janora? And, like, as writers, do they have plans?
Well, she's, like, she's in tune with the spirit world. So we already know that something else is going to have to happen.
They're going to make her do other things, which is cool.
Is she going to help? Do you think she's going to help Korra because of her connection with the spirits?
What do you mean?
At the end of the season. Do you think that she's going to be a part of defeating Vatu?
Maybe.
I hope that's not a spoiler to anybody that the villain gets defeated at the end of the season.
What?
And, I mean, I don't know yet because I haven't seen these episodes in a long time, so it might not.
Yeah, it's been a couple of years for me, but I'm pretty sure he loses because I think we get seasonal villains.
Probably. Yeah, so what happens before that, because the overview skipped a lot, was they tried to get into the southern portal. They tried to get into the southern portal, but they didn't have any success. They ended up getting captured. And Asami and Bolin and Mako got into a plane that was on Varric's ship, and Asami did what she did best, and she was really good in this episode, just flying the plane all around. She really, like, drove the plot forward, I think.
You done?
Done with what?
Talking about Asami?
I mean, do you want me to talk for some more?
No, I don't want you to talk about Asami at all.
No, but yeah, so Bolin, Asami, and Mako were trying to be a distraction so that Korra, Tenzin, Bumi, Kai, there's too many people. There's too much.
Everybody was involved.
Except for Janora and Ikki, Milo, Pema, Lin Beifong, what's the President Raiko, Buttercup Raiko.
That'd be so funny if they every single character was
on the back of Oogie and trying to get... Why didn't they just take as many people as possible into the spirit world? Just get as many benders as you possibly could.
That'd be smart. But obviously not just any like non-name benders, like just actual name benders.
Yeah, just all the
Let's get Katara in here. Let's get everybody else we know.
Why wouldn't they just bring the entire police force with a whole bunch of metal and just... Because I feel like they could have easily defeated Unalaq.
Yeah, just like bring like
a ton of people.
a battleship or like one of those floating blimps.
Yeah.
And then just take that and make it like encase him individually in that.
Yeah, exactly.
Listen, you're done. Like we've won. You've lost.
Yeah,
Stop.
they're talking to this entire episode about strategy because they have to give Boomy something to do since he's a non-bender. So he's like the military commander, and so he comes up with the plan.
He's also really frustrating Tenzin though because he keeps on saying these insane stories, which I like because he said one time we dealt with sandbenders or something like that with like a hog monkey or something like that,
And
I think molasses.
Bucket of molasses.
And so I like the idea that he was the only one in their family to not grow up as a bender. So in his mind, he had to make up for that. So he became this ultimate like MacGyver strategist that could just do these crazy things.
Well, it kind of reminded me of Sahara when they're talking about like some of the stuff they did, but like they did a Panama or whatever, but you don't really know exactly what happened, but it's just this convoluted thing that turns out not being so great. But
well, for William H. Macy's boat, no.
Yeah, no.
For them, it worked out fine.
Yeah, rest in peace, William H. Macy's boat.
Have an in memoriam thing for it.
On this this audio medium, we're just gonna put a graphic of in memoriam up in place somber music.
As dumb as I think specific talk shows are, like and after like the Walking Dead thing is, that's my favorite part of the entire
Talking
show.
Dead?
Yeah, Talking Dead.
Oh,
like,
where they have
the in memoriam. Like even though I used to watch Talking Dead all the time, I think it's pointless.
You know what? I wish
hilarious.
they would have had one of those for Lost, because that would have been amazing.
That'd have been dope. Also, get Chris. Let's go back in time. Take Chris Hardwick and make him do.
I don't even care. Chris Hardwick has never been like just the best for me.
I think he's awesome.
He's in everything. Like he's got his.
He's
everything.
everywhere, man. Like anything that has to do with anything nerdy related or anything like that. He was in Attack of the Show when Attack of the Show was on, and then he left for
Nerdist.
Nerdist, I think is what he left for, and then he came back and like he guest starred on Attack of the Show like the last episode they had, and like Kevin Ferrer was there, and Underwood was there, and that other girl I can't remember her name.
Olivia Munn. Was she on Attack of the Show?
I think she was on the X. Oh God, what is that?
No, she was definitely on Attack of the Show.
Was Olivia Munn on Attack of the Show?
I'm pretty sure
she might have been. But I always forget. But I used to watch the show all the time, and then the last one, like they all came out on the stage, and they're like, "This is our last show," and I'm like, "No,
that's fine."
And now G4 doesn't even exist anymore. For the longest time, it was just like
basically what
cops. That's all it was.
Chris Hardwick's doing anyway, because they just do everything.
Oh yeah, but like I wanted like visuals, like I wanted actuals, because he's just on podcasting now.
Who do you think would have been good for Lost?
I don't know. Like back then, like who would have been popular back then,
or like. Who would you have liked to seen do like a Lost sort of Talking Dead?
Steve Martin.
Steve Martin. That would have been ridiculous.
Steve Martin's career is kind of phasing out. You know, he's the cheaper that does in 3 now. And he's just...
Steve Martin doing just a lot of physical comedy while we're talking about Lost.
He's like, so Lost this time. Yeah.
They should have gotten Stephen Hawking to like do like a scientific sort of thing.
I would love to see something like that. Let's just get all the Steves together. Like
just get all the
Steves ever.
Yeah, we'll just get all the Steves in one big room and they can talk about Lost.
Compile a list of Steves and just talk about Lost. Like every time they have a new guest, and this is our new guest, Steve. All right,
we end up we get all the Steves, so we have to keep bringing baby Steves that have just been born because there's not enough Steves.
We ran out of Steves.
The Steve apocalypse has come. Because we gathered all the Steves up in a room, but then it got like bombed by North Korea.
So you're making it sound like we have all the Steves together. We don't give them back.
Yeah.
We just hold on to them.
No, this would be like a great graphic novel. Is the world no longer has any Steves, and it's just sort of like chaos breaks out because all the Steves died at once. That's a great TV show.
We need
on the CW.
We need you to name your baby Steve.
Yeah, it's like Uncle Sam on a poster. I want you to name your baby Steve because we have a very big Steve shortage. And you see a lot of people in China start naming their baby Steve.
Men or like boy or girl, they're all just named Steve.
Yeah,
then we have too many Steves.
Yeah,
that goes into the next season.
It's a dystopian future where for like you live in it for 2 years, everyone's named Steve because they have to get the population.
Then you have the one like your main character's name isn't Steve.
It's not Steve, but he's ridiculed because everyone's name is Steve.
It's like Steve 105, like Steve 10,005. Like everything has a different number. They're all just Steves. Like there's no last names anymore, just numbers.
The government got rid of all the Steves, but what they didn't anticipate was now everyone's named Steve. But then you
They
cut to
named the government Steve.
Steve. Just that they replace Steve. Steve is the word for like everything now.
America Steve. Like
America has 3 branches.
United States of Steve.
The United Steves of America. It's and now the Congress Steve from Minnesota. Steve
just becomes incorporated into everything.
Yeah, it's just like everywhere. Yeah, let's pitch that to ABC.
Because they don't have enough on their plate already. Disney would totally buy it. Disney would totally buy it. They'd be like, yeah, this is dumb. Let's do it.
America is very divided, and that's why the government came up with a plan to bring everyone together. Name everything Steve.
What would we name the show?
Steve?
Just name it Steve.
It would have to be the United Steves of America, right?
United Steves of America. I like it.
Right.
Like, there's just like blatant propaganda.
Yeah,
blatant product placement, like the Burger Steve.
Burger still like Burger King.
The Junior Whopper Steve.
Yeah. No, but yeah, so that's how they bring America together, because if everyone's named Steve, you can't hate Steve, right? Steve's just a great guy. Yeah, that's but like the ideal. He's just a regular dude.
There's like the 1% of Steves, and they call themselves Steven.
Steven, yeah.
Call me Steven.
And then you get some of those idiots that it's Steven but PH.
Stefan.
And they're like Stefan. They're like, oh, I'd rather be Stefan, please.
Oh, God.
I think we actually got something here.
We do. Let's run with this.
Yeah, let's cut this out of the podcast so we can actually use it.
Yeah. Let's put a copyright on that right now.
Harley, where were we?
Where did we even get the name Steve from?
I don't... Because we were talking about Steve Martin and Steve... what's his name?
That other guy.
Yeah, Stephen Hawking. He's the Steven. Okay. So they try to get into the spirit world. That doesn't work. They all get captured, except for Boomy. He's the only one left.
Oh, and Boomy decides to go toe-to-toe, a little mano-a-mano with a
dark spirit who doesn't like really look like he wants to kill him.
No, he's just kind of just lingering. Which, have we seen any of the dark spirits actually do any crazy attacking things?
Yeah, they usually attack people on sight, I guess. But like, why is this one?
Have we seen that, though? I guess I'm not paying attention enough.
The only thing I was thinking of with the spirits is maybe there's like a radius around the portal that Unalaq can control them.
Once they get further away, they start thinking like,
yeah,
they get lazier or whatever.
Well, yeah, because Vatu, his influence would only be around the portals, right? Because we've only seen dark spirits by portals, or except on the ocean.
Would it be closer to the portals though? Because you say his influence, you say it would be closer to the portals because when Harmonic Convergence does happen, it goes over the entire world.
Yeah.
So
we haven't seen what happens to the physical world except for everything gets dark. Because we see like a Republic City and everything takes on like a purple hue. But we haven't seen how it's affected everything.
You know what that parallels? That parallels that one time where they
shut the moon off.
In Avatar.
Oh, kind of.
Do you think it's going to be in the trivia?
This parallels the time where the sky turned red.
Where they destroyed the moon. They killed
the fish.
The moon fish. The sky turned red. It's a great parallel.
It's such a great parallel.
Who wrote these parallel trivias?
I think it's just random people.
I hate it.
Yeah. That would be... We need to go back to the Avatar wiki and change all of them to parallel with Korra. So all the trivia is just parallels to Korra.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah, so Boomy ends up like befriending a spirit with music, I guess. I don't know exactly how that works.
He does like a weird little Zelda thing with this.
We did see him playing the flute earlier on the ship.
Ooh, continuity.
Yeah.
Nice. Attention to detail.
In case you were thinking it was an Ex Machina.
No, I wasn't actually.
So I watched a couple Cinema Sins pretty recently, and they're going overboard with the Ex Machina.
Hardcore name drop there.
Well, that's fine. I'm pretty sure people know who Cinema Sins is. But
what if they didn't and we led them to that?
Good. Yeah, I'm glad that we could
guys
give
go
them
watch Cinema Sins because they're great.
Yeah, let's give them the Boys in the Iceberg bump. They see two
all
subscribers.
5 of you.
Yeah. So, but the Ex Machina thing has been getting me lately because a lot of it's not Ex Machina.
Some of it is though. I don't know. I haven't watched him in a while.
I don't
know his
know.
new stuff.
Anyway, Boomy ends up. He's like, oh, hey, I calmed this one spirit down with music. That'll probably work with more spirits.
So he does this thing where he does the old switcheroo garb with the one of the guards. He
The
takes
classic
takes his outfit.
Indiana Jones, punch him in the face, catch the hat.
and put it on.
Yes.
And so he does that.
He's got to take it off anyway to put the uniform back on.
Yeah.
So.
And so he goes into the camp and he starts playing his little piccolo thing.
Is it a piccolo?
I don't know. I didn't see what it was. But he starts playing it, and the harmonics converge on him.
I see what you did there.
Yeah. And then they try to eat him because it doesn't work. So he's
Yeah,
like,
no,
oh, it's
of course
working,
not.
and
But-
then immediately tries to eat him.
He gets into one of those automatons, which they're not automatons, are they? Because isn't automaton like automatic? Like they don't need a driver. Isn't that the whole thing with automatons?
I would say yes, only because the Fallout 4 DLC named automaton is where you could build robots and they would work by themselves.
Yeah. So I think it's.
I don't know the definition. I know context.
I think that's basically what it is. But he gets in one of theirs and it gets taken over by spirits, and then they just destroy the camp from some really just like giant stroke of luck.
Bad music, man.
Really? You think so?
They didn't like his choice in music. Like,
Oh.
bad genre. They just
I
destroyed
thought you meant because the music did kind of stick out to me while it's going on. Because
the score?
yeah, it was like
I sounded really douchey there. Oh, you mean the score?
yeah, oh the score. Well, you don't know what the score is. Yeah, so it was a little weird because it was kind of like when we like the first episode of Korra, sort of like getting chased through New York, sort of like jazzy. I thought it's like stuck out when they're in like an Eskimo tribe.
Did you like that, or what was?
No, I thought it was weird. It was fine, but it stuck out, which is not what you want with most scores.
You don't want scores to stick out?
Not usually, or well, not.
I don't think
I shouldn't
TV. I don't
say
think
not
TV
usually.
scores should stick out. I think they should take a back seat and they should kind of just guide your emotions.
I
through the
don't
scene.
even think like a movie scores, because like Star Wars, like that's a classic score,
Mhm.
but it doesn't stick out.
It's
It feels like it belongs, which is the
well,
difference.
this is yeah, okay. So I think this is where I want to delve into that. Scores like that are something you could take the movie away entirely and listen to the score itself.
Yes.
But like TV scores, they all sound the same. They like heighten, like throw some brass in there, when you're excited, or like when there's like danger involved, put some timpani in there, dun dun dun. Like there's a little bit of it's all the same. There's a formula there, and they just kind of follow the formula, and nobody really strays from the path. But then you get somebody like John Williams or Danny Elfman to create something, and then you have something cool like Nightmare Before Christmas, or you have the Spider-Man theme from Sam Raimi's Spider-Man, which is actually pretty good. Forgettable. It takes a backseat in the movies, but it actually
but that's what I'm saying.
it portrays your emotions, and you're kind of like this overwhelming swell of emotion. You're like, whoa, this is really good. Yeah, I feel like I'm swinging through the like just because of the moments.
And that's a lot of times that's what makes us. That's why video game music, it's very sort of in the background, but it can really make or break like the feeling of. I think that's more of what it is. It's does it create a feeling? And is that the right feeling?
You can't have a score by itself create all this emotion. It's another piece of the puzzle that gives you the bigger picture. Like you have the score, and you have the visuals, and you have the sound design. You have all these pieces coming together to build this, like all these cogs in the machine to make this awesome thing run. And so I think a score is one of the more standing out things. Like you have the score, and you have the visual like cinematography. And then you have like the characters and stuff like that. Like step back a little bit, and a little bit of sub character or sub
Plot?
Nope,
Conscious?
lost the words. Whatever. But you have the bigger pieces of the puzzle, and you have the smaller pieces of the puzzle. And to me, the score and the cinematography, the visuals, are the bigger pieces of the puzzle.
Uh-huh.
I think a good score can make or break a movie. Like if you have a really good movie and there's a bad score, because it's so prevalent in the movie. Like
because it stands out, because it doesn't feel right.
Yeah, like I think of the early Walking Dead seasons. Like I remember watching interviews watching the commentaries of the Walking Dead. I watched a lot of Walking Dead.
John Williams did the score for Walking Dead.
I don't think you're right. And I used to listen to that, and there were scenes where they wouldn't play music at all. And they're like, we just want the natural, the sound of everything, emanates the emotion.
Because it
and
feels
I like
uncomfortable.
That. Sometimes when there is no score, you feel more emotion. It's a time to play it. But then now in the new Walking Dead, I wouldn't say the new Walking Dead, but the newer seasons of The Walking Dead, they play more score, I feel like. And like every time somebody pulls a knife out, or every time somebody's walking down a road, there's just like, there's score following every single action now, and I hate that. It's overwhelming and obnoxious and in your face.
Yeah, speaking of scores, Unalaq 1, Korra 0, because Korra gets like defeated, kind of.
Well, she gets thrown on her face, and then Vaatu shows up.
Yeah, so they managed to finally get into the spirit world after Boomy has laid waste to anything or everything, I guess, and they got a different change of plans. So Kaya, Boomy, and Tenzin are going to go look for Janora, while Mako and Bolin are going to fight off Unalaq, while Korra shuts the portal to the spirit world from inside of the spirit world.
I mean, it's a solid plan.
Yeah.
I mean, I think the idea of having more people there would have pushed this plan to
they should have just gotten
faster,
an army.
To move faster, and then you would have... Well, they were trying to get an army as well, but remember, Raiko's like, I don't want to be involved in that.
Okay,
but, like,
so...
you have... Remember when like you said earlier, like Lin Beifong's characters, when she took them aside and said, hey, you work under me, and we're going to break into this warehouse and, show this guy what's what. Like, just do that. Just take Lin Beifong and be like, hey, Lin, remember when we used to sleep together? Tenzin, obviously, not just me. But when Tenzin did that, he's like, remember when we used to sleep together? Bring all your gang over, and we'll go confront this guy, and we'll win. And we won't be off by mere seconds. We'll be ahead of the game. Because that's the only reason why the Harmonic Convergence happened like that, was because Korra was mere seconds away from closing the portal, and the Harmonic Convergence was also mere seconds away from happening, and it was just like 1 second ahead. The Harmonic Convergence was just like 1 second ahead of her closing the portal, and it happened, blew her back, Vaatu escaped, and that was the end of the episode.
But do you think that the Harmonic Convergence would have happened anyway, even if she would have shut the portal?
I think the Harmonic Convergence is it happens regardless.
You think so?
I think it does.
Then why try to close the portal?
We opened the portal, or she opened the portal. Remember?
She was trying to close it though.
Yes, because she had already opened it. So
yes.
with her closing the portal, that means Vaatu can't escape. Okay, he's always trapped in the spirit world. I think the Harmonic Convergence happens anyways, because remember, they said every 10,000 years it happens regardless. Remember when Rava and Vaatu were fighting?
Yeah.
So I think it's like this big thing where Rava and Vaatu were supposed to fight and whatnot, but Rava is now in the Avatar, so she can't fight.
Yeah, so that's why Korra has to go there in the first place.
I think the Harmonic Convergence was going to happen regardless, whether or not Vaatu or Rava were doing things. I think it would have just been played out differently if Rava hadn't been diminished into the Avatar.
Yeah, and so in this episode we also get Unalaq what his end goal is, and it's not just to let Rava or let what's the Vaatu, to let Vaatu out and to let Vaatu like take over the world, but he actually wants to merge with Vaatu in the same way Rava merged with Avatar 1 and become the dark Avatar, as it were.
Which is a cool concept. I like that, but you brought up a good point earlier. So to be an Avatar, you have to control all four elements and be a bridge between the spirit world and the people world,
the human world. Yes,
but he would not be controlling all four elements, would he?
I don't know, because when
you
Juan did it
to me earlier.
Yeah, when Juan did it, Rava was already holding 3 elements for him.
Yeah, and she was changing him out for every element when he needed to practice with him.
So when they merged, they had all of the elements, but Vaatu doesn't have any, right? Is that what we're to assume?
So do you think Vaatu could go get the elements?
Well, he'd have to go find the lion turtles, right?
That's where that comes from. You can just,
I guess.
Maybe. I don't know.
But I mean, if Unalaq merges with Vaatu, I would assume that he's only got water. He'll probably be a lot more powerful.
Oh yeah,
but I still don't know. Okay, so are we to assume that Rava's still weaker than Vaatu?
Oh yeah, she's teeny tiny and she's inside the Avatar.
Yeah, so that's sort of balances out, because what I think is going to happen, and I don't exactly know for sure, but I think that, or what I should say is that I feel like the Avatar, are not the Dark Avatar, just a regular core Avatar, would still be more powerful than Vaatu and Unalaq, because she has the experience of all the other avatars in the Avatar state. So I feel like they have to kind of have Vaatu be a lot more powerful than Rava to sort of even that out.
Okay.
Because I feel like the Avatar state is a lot more powerful than whatever Unalaq's going to have. just because of the experience of all his lifetimes.
Unalaq
10,000 years.
Unalaq has proven that he's had a few tricks up his sleeve, though, like when he can calm down the spirits. Maybe he's
That's true.
a bit more powerful.
Do you
He's
think-
like he's one of the most powerful waterbenders on the planet right
Do you
now.
think he's going to pull Rava out of Korra? I feel like that's sort of the direction they're going to go. Like he's going to separate the Avatar.
As you say that, that sounds like something I remember happening.
Maybe, but it's all blurry, so it could be.
Spoilers.
But yeah, I think that'd be pretty cool, and I think I'm really going to enjoy these next 2 episodes.
Perhaps.
Um,
Let's find out.
with that, let's get into some trivia. What do you say?
I'm down for that. Yeah, let's go.
Okay, so Bolin flat. Oh no, wrong episode. I almost read the trivia from the last episode. Okay, gosh dang it. The siege of the South Pole bears many similarities to Team Avatar's attack of the Earth Kingdom Royal Palace in The Earth King. Both groups approached their respective destinations by air, and despite smooth sailing, both were met with military resistance. In the case of Aang and his friends, their approach to the palace was hindered by the Royal Earthbender Guards. It's a completely different thing. Because in Avatar, they actually had an army.
Now, it can't be a completely different thing. Obviously, there's parallels.
That's fine, but it's a completely, and it does say it bears many similarities, but I don't think you can really, I think that's grasping at straws, honestly. Gosh dang it. Can we just not, can they just not do
Is
this?
that every single one of the trivia pieces of trivia?
Naga and Pablo being left behind recalls a similar scene in Endgame, which they're going back to where both animals were told to wait outside of Hiroshi's secret airfield.
That one liner right there, what does that say?
In both episodes, Naga and Pabu ignored the instructions that ended up saving the team from imprisonment. Okay, the sound effect for spreading spirit lights in the physical world is the same used for Vatu's beam attacks.
See, that's cool. I mean, it's not something I would have noticed.
The
So give us
sound
trivia like that.
The sound effects for spreading spirit lights in the physical world draws many parallels with Vatu's beam attacks. This episode marks the first time Katara waterbends on screen in The Legend of Korra, while she's trying to help Denora.
I heard Korra when you said Katara,
Oh.
and I was like, no.
No,
No, not at all.
She's definitely waterbended before.
You lied.
When Tonerock tries to convince Unalaq not to fuse with Vatu, he says, "You're still a man. You're still my bro." When did that happen? This was outside the spirit world, right? Yeah, this is when they're all trapped. So he says, "You're still a man. You're still my brother." However, in the previous episode, he angrily tells Unalaq, "You're no brother of mine."
Emotions, man.
Yeah,
I can play a toll.
I mean, he still that's not. He still loves his brother. I think.
you think
He's just
so?
a little. He's a little upset with him. He's a little disappointed, I would say.
He
Korra
didn't just betray
practicing-
him twice.
Korra practicing her airbending on the ship under Tenzin's instruction is similar to how Zuko practiced firebending on his ship under Iroh's instruction in The Boy in the Iceberg.
Now, I don't want to give
No.
that one a pass, but I was thinking of that scene when Korra was punching that little baggy thingy.
I wasn't at all.
I was.
I think it's completely different.
I mean, yeah, it's not the same thing. I will admit there's
I
parallels.
think that
This
Zuko was on a Fire Nation
this
ship.
is stupid trivia.
Zuko was on a Fire Nation
Bottom
ship.
line, this trivia is
Korra
dumb.
was on Varric's ship. Okay.
Bottom line,
Zuko was
trivia is
firebending.
dumb.
Korra was airbending.
No, I'm with you.
It was Tenzin on the ship with Korra, and Iroh was on the ship. It's not the same thing at all.
No, I got you.
Okay. Is that it? Are we
Yeah,
done?
that's the last of the trivia.
If you want to check us out on Twitter, that's at boysintheberg, or you can email us with boysintheiceberg@gmail.com. Thank you so much for listening, and we will see you here next week.
Bye.